whistleblower in St. Petersburg uncovered a sewage scandal that will cost taxpayers millions. And tonight, Mark Douglas has his hands on the email that started the whole thing. Now, Craven Askew first alerted the mayor and city council about the terrible mistakes that led to the dumping of millions of gallons of sewage into Tampa Bay. And tonight, Mark Douglas is on it because you will be paying for it. So, Mark, this is the email where Askew first asked for this whistleblower protection. Is that right?
It is correct, Josh. This email actually explains how mid-level bureaucrats in the Public Works Division set up taxpayers for an environmental and financial disaster. Askew tells the DEP none of it had to happen. Craven Askew has revealed what may be the largest environmental and financial boondoggle in city history, the spilling of 130 million gallons of sewage during a series of storms over the past 2 years. In his first whistleblower email to the DEP back on September 12th, Askew writes, "The city is allowing the department to spend more money and increase sewer funding rates due to the sewage spill, which could have been prevented if they left Albert Whitted up and running."
I think people also wanted to, were real excited about having waterfront acres downtown, and so excited that they led right into this sewage crisis.
As Hurricane Hermine pounded Pinellas County, 15 inches of rain fell on St. Petersburg in a 4-day period, and the city of St. Petersburg dumped partially treated wastewater into Tampa Bay.
New tonight, raw sewage flowing into Clam Bayou. It happened last August, and it's happening now. St. Pete Mayor Rick Kriseman is dodging questions about what's going on.
Well, Reg and Dion, you may recall last August, after we discovered the city was dumping raw sewage into Clam Bayou in Gulfport, the mayor promised it would never happen again. And that could be why he is reluctant to admit what his own public works director told us about this environmental problem. You're looking at raw sewage from St. Petersburg overflowing from the manholes in the area around Clam Bayou in Gulfport. Is there any raw sewage that's going into Clam Bayou?
There appears to have been some that went in right over there.
Claude Tankersley is St. Petersburg's new public works director. But despite the fact the area around the bayou is being roped off and signs are warning the surface is contaminated, St. Petersburg Mayor Rick Kriseman had nothing to say to upset people in Gulfport.
Upset in Gulfport about
raw sewage in Clam Bayou.
Well, there isn't. My understanding is that's not an issue this go round.
And then the mayor's staff stepped in.
That's not what he said.
That's exactly. Wait a second, Kevin. Let me ask. Get a quick comment.
That's not what he said.
Wait, let me get a quick comment from the mayor, and then. So your understanding is that there's not raw sewage going in.
I think Claude answered the question.
So we turned to Tankersley and asked him to repeat what he said in earshot of the mayor, and that there could be raw sewage in Clam Bayou. Did you not say that?
Mike, stop this baiting stuff.
No, I'm just asking you. Did you not say?
Don't we already have the answer on tape? Why don't you just use that?
Do I sound a little angry? Perhaps, because I should not find out about what happened yesterday in the city of Gulfport through your news crew. That was how I find out.
Yeah, I just spoke with the head of public works for the city of St. Petersburg, and he can't even tell me right now how many millions of gallons of partially treated wastewater has been discharged into the bay so far. Keith?
All right, well, call me overly curious here, but why not? Why don't they know how much wastewater is being pumped into the bay? I would think you would want to know that.
Yeah, that's kind of a crucial figure. As a matter of fact, they'll have to make a report to the DEP later about it, but he did tell city council that they can't put a number on it because they had to bypass the meters in order to treat more wastewater. Obviously, city council members are very concerned about that, Keith. The head of the Sierra Club in Florida told us the release of sewer water is a major setback for the environment.
If they have to continue to release dirty water, sewage water, into Tampa Bay, then we're going to lose the bay.
The pristine waters surrounding the city of Gulfport haven't been 100% for months. In August, heavy rains forced the city of St. Petersburg to dump 15 million gallons of raw sewage into Clam Bayou.
A dangerous bacteria known as VRE. Not only is it resistant to antibiotics, it has a gene that can make other kinds of bacteria resistant as well, basically spreading the problem of bacteria that can't be treated with medicine to the waters of Pinellas County.
This is toilet paper on the storm drain. That's gross.
It's really stinky, it's smelly, it's a health risk.
We can't kayak, we can't go to the beach.
I just wanted to go over some of the things that we discussed with members of this community about the effects of the sewage crisis that it's had specifically in this precinct where the streets are flooded. And I'm standing next to one of the city's solutions to the water sewage crisis in the Black community, where we heard people share stories like they had, their water at once was clear and now it has a tinted yellowish color. And that's as a result of what the city has done to the city and the Black community.
Somebody needs to be held accountable. Somebody needs to go to jail for what happened. That was not a case of environmental neglect. That was not just a simple infrastructure accident. That was a crime. And there was no mention tonight of the fact that just a few months before the Tampa Bay leak, the city leaked 16 million gallons of sewage into Clam Bayou next to the Black community. That was not mentioned. In Gulfport, poisoning the water next to a working class Black community. Not mentioned. And that the year before that happened, thousands of gallons were leaked into the same Clam Bayou, and Rick Kriseman promised it would never happen again. And the following year, and 16 million gallons later, he's got nothing to say for himself. And now we come to a meeting tonight where none of this even gets mentioned. It doesn't get mentioned that you had an audit, 2014 audit, warning you if you shut down the downtown plant that this would happen. You were warned. You knew. That is criminal. You knew what happened in Clam Bayou. You knew about that 2014 audit. The city workers have come forward and said that day when that leak started, they were intimidated by their bosses not to say a word to the media. And we know Kriseman doesn't like his workers talking to the media. He's made that very clear with several laws he's tried to pass to make that impossible for them to do. This was a cover-up that we experienced tonight. It was a cover-up. And the corpses who caused this problem are not going to solve it. The people of St. Petersburg and the neighborhoods who were affected by this crisis have to come together and devise innovative solutions to make sure this never happens again, and that we can build a sustainable sewage and stormwater infrastructure system that is transparent, accountable, and meets the needs of all of the residents of St. Pete, no one at the expense of everybody else.
Yeah.